Welcome to another edition of the Skeeter Talk podcast. We're at Ray Roberts, and what a day. This lake totally showed out. Practice day, rain, lightning, thunder. Today, pick day of the week. I mean, just absolutely beautiful. But you know who had the best day of the year? Maybe one of the best days of their lives today? Daniel Helsley, Cade Rudiger. They had a big bass of 863, almost big bass of the tournament. But here's the big kicker. Their total weight today was 3267.
Yes,
3267. I'm just going to say it a third time. 3267. I mean, that's a sack anywhere, but that's especially a big sack right here in North Texas. Going home with $26,600 because not only do they win $25,000 guaranteed for first place, but they had our Garmin Electronics Bonus, TH Atlas Marine Bonus, and Fun and Sunfly the Fish Bonus. Man, guys, first off, congratulations.
Thank you.
What an incredible day. Break it down for me. Let me know, how much practice did you guys put in for this?
Well, I had to work yesterday, so luckily my partner Cade here came out, braved the conditions, lightning. He came out and he found some big ones. He called me yesterday and showed me some pictures of the fish he was seeing, and I was just so excited to get out there today. We made it happen. We went out there, they were there, and we got them to bite. It wasn't easy, but we made it work.
Cade, you just don't put your boat in the water and pull up to fish like that. I mean,
Yeah.
there some homework goes into that. Tell me about it.
I mean, really a lifetime of time on the water led to it, but it's later in the spawn now, and we're kind of trying to look for spawners because it's kind of an easy fish to target. You see it, you catch it. The post spawners are skinnier, so that's what we were looking for, and we figured if we hung out on the south end of the lake, we could end up running into spawners. And yesterday morning, I put the boat down, and God was looking out for my boat because
He put you right on.
she was there, and I left. I took the hooks off. I got 10, 15 bites in an hour or so, and I left the lake at like 11 yesterday. And yeah,
Wow.
it was a blessed day. It really was a lifetime of time on the water. It wasn't just straight up luck. Like, me and him put a lot of time out there getting good, and blessed.
Wow, that's so awesome because it's not every day you pop 30 pounds
No,
for a
no,
five fish limit. I mean, that's just stellar. And you guys caught fish all day, didn't you?
We did. We caught a lot of fish. A lot of 3 to 4 pounders. We had one 4-pounder in our bag that we tried really hard to get rid of, never could. Made a bunch of ounces.
I just want you to take just 2 seconds. We had a 4-pounder in a bag, man. If we could have got rid of that one, maybe we could have had 36, 37 pounds. I mean, we're talking big fish here.
Yeah, well, 40 pounds was our mark, and we didn't quite get there, but, we've been waiting a long time to win one of these tournaments, and to do it with over 30 pounds was pretty special, so.
Now, any specific bait that was the key to catching these fish that were on beds?
I mean, just a stick worm. I was throwing a 6-cent clout. That's my favorite stick worm, and he was throwing some Japanese brand that he likes to throw, but it's really just finesse power fish, most. Like, you got to cover water, but when you find the right fish, you got to take your time and make her bite. And it's a fine line of spending too much time on the wrong fish and spend the right amount of time on the correct fish.
That is a definite balance that you have to have when you're fishing those fish. Yeah.
Absolutely, but yeah, stick worms, honestly, like everything. We caught, well, I mean, did we catch maybe a jerkbait fish? Like on the mill, for the milfoil, a handful?
Everything we weighed in was on a stick bait,
Yeah.
a Cinco.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a way to target those fish, stick to a game plan. And you had to be, I mean, by noon, 1 o'clock, you had to know you had a shot.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it was probably like 12:15, and he caught an 8, and we were going down the bank after he caught it, and we're jacked up, and we found a second 8-pounder, and we caught it, and that was probably 12:30, and we're like,
now you're sitting in the boat going, okay, man, we got to get, I mean, this is, you're running over the rules, you're making sure you did everything right.
Yep, I was definitely like, we're going back a little early.
I love that. Once again, 3267. Their big bass was an 863, but they had a couple of 8-pounders in that sack, which is incredible. Going home with $26,600. Guys, big congratulations. I mean, just an incredible day.
Thank you.
Let's see how second place did it.
There we go.
Oh my gosh!
That could be $100,000.
The Prodigy prevails and wins Lake Okeechobee. Let's go! John Garrett goes wire to wire. Fifth Lake belongs to Takumi Ito.
Got big. Let's go!
Bassmaster Classic champion, Easton Fothergill.
Helsley Fish dominate. Brandon Hollingshead, Jeremy Lambert, second place today. 5 fish for $28.12, going home with $7,500 today. You know, you're sitting in your boat. You got 28 pounds in the live well. You're thinking you got a shot to win.
Not on this lake.
Yeah, because this lake showed out today, didn't it?
Oh yeah, we figured it would take 30. We practiced out here twice, and we had over 30 both times. So
Really? So you guys dialed in a pattern in practice that you knew that you had a shot at winning. Tell us about that pattern, what you were doing to catch those fish.
We fished offshore with a Carolina rig and a shaky head all day long. We did lose a couple spots to the mud, but other than that, I mean, we just ran around a lot. We burned like 30 gallons of gas.
So you were hole jumping. You had a whole bunch of GPS points, fishing deep, looking for that big bite all day long.
That's all we do.
So you go, I mean, on these patterns, and I know I've fished these patterns myself. You know, are you stopping for 5 minutes, taking a look, making a few casts, and if nothing there, you move on?
usually we know if they're going to be active within the first three casts.
Yeah.
If they're not, then we're gone.
So you are really, literally moving all day long.
Yeah, that motor runs a lot.
Got a lot of hours on that engine. It's probably time for an oil change.
Oh yeah.
So in these deep spots, how deep are we talking?
They're not necessarily deep. They're just offshore. They're 12, 15, some of them 20, 21.
Now, is this a combination of rocks, foundations, pond dams, or is it a specific type of cover and structure that you're looking at?
It's mainly rock mixed in with trees.
Rocks mixed in with trees always holds big bass, doesn't it?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Well, today it did for $28.12 and $7,500. Man, thank you so much for fishing Bass Champs. What a great job today. These guys going to numerous locations. How much gas do you think you burned?
I think it's 38 gallons.
Did you burn 38 gallons today?
We probably did. We hit all the same stuff about three different times throughout the day.
Oh, man, I love that. Second place going home with a lot of money on Bass Champs today.
This is Texas, home for those bold enough to stake their claim. At Classic Buick GMC, our Texas values guide everything we do. Whether you're buying or selling, Classic Value comes standard. Shop our best savings online or in store. Hundreds of new and pre-owned models, all makes, all models. Stake your claim to upgrade for less. This is Texas. This is Classic. Relax and enjoy the difference.
Third place, $24.63, fishing solo, $4,500. Hunter Mayo. Before I even ask Hunter a question, I'm just going to brag about him a little bit because this young man's been fishing by himself all year long. I've had several conversations with him. He literally told me, John, I'm out here fishing by myself because I want to fish lakes I've never been on before, and I want to see how I stack up against the best competition in Texas. And Hunter right now is crushing the Angler of the Year race, and you really added some big time points today with that third place finish. You got to be pretty happy about that.
Yeah, I'm really happy about that. Especially, I think it was 12 o'clock. I had 4 fish.
No way. So there was a lot of dock talk around saying that the fish kind of turned on in the afternoon. There's a light switch flipped. Tell me about it.
Oh, that was very true. So this lake, as a lot of people know, it's an area deal. They're not everywhere. So when you do find them, they're there. So I don't have history on this place. And the first place I checked yesterday, I dropped the trolling motor and see an 8-pounder. And I'm like, yeah, that'll work. All right, there's definitely fish here. So I look around, and the first cast I made, I caught a 5-pounder on some rock. And I'm like, all right. So they're biting. Like, it's going to take some weight if I'm catching them, just off the riff. So I kind of ran those two type things, and mainly what I was looking for was just areas with bigger flats that had a lot less taper, just true flat. And they were kind of in the backs of those areas, and I'd use my forward facing to kind of see the trees that had life and the trees that didn't have life, just to kind of help me fish through those areas a little bit faster. But there was a really good deep bite. I just kind of got out of rotation with it. Yesterday it was, I don't know, I just got lucky and found some good spots. Idling out of some timber, I found this one spot, and it had about 40 pounds sitting on it.
Oh, wow. Now, when you say you got out of rotation, are you talking about, other boats in the competition that are fishing the same? I mean, because, so many people are like, oh, man, this is a secret. Oh, man, there are no secrets anymore.
No.
Yeah, people find good fishermen like yourself. You go out and find the good fish. So, yeah, that rotation is important.
These guys are sticks. They find everything, especially if you give them practice, they're going to find these fish. So I knew I was going to be fishing around boats, and I kind of thought, if I find a spot that's got 40 pounds sitting on it, definitely some of the local hammers know about this thing, right, for sure. So in the back of my head, I'm like, I don't even want to try to run up there in the dark, tear my stuff up. I'll let it get light. So I went to my area where I had found those spawning fish, kind of like how Caid and Daniel caught theirs, and there was like 15 boats in there. I was like, golly, we're gonna have to fish good today. So I actually caught all those fish like behind people, just because I had marked.
And it was in the afternoon.
Yes. So that morning they were super pressured with that many boats, trolling motors, grafts, people casting, hitting trees. There's so much noise, that many boats, and I mean it was an area the size of the parking lot. So and a lot of people weren't scoping in there, so I could kind of see how they were acting, and those people kind of stuck it out because they had good practices too in that area, so they were there pretty much all day, which those fish are there for a reason. They're spawning, and so they're going to come back eventually. They're not just completely wiped out of that area versus like because of the cold front or the pressure. So later in the afternoon I was like, all right, I got to catch something. So I went back in that area and in my head thinking surely they didn't all leave, and the first one I stopped on was a 6-pounder that I shook off.
So were there less boats in the area in the afternoon, or did a lot of guys just give up on it?
They gave up on it, yeah. So it was crazy. I mean, every bedfish that I had marked was back in there. I probably caught 20 fish over 3 pounds in the last 2 hours of the day.
I got to tell you, that's such great information, Hunter, because, all those guys that gave up on that area, had they not given up, it could have been a different day for them. You didn't give up on those fish. You knew those fish were there. You knew they were catchable. And you were like, man, I'm going to go back and give those fish another shot.
Yeah, I was actually biting my fingers because this morning I went through there. We were kind of playing chess and Jenga in there and trying not to step on anybody's toes. Everybody trying to be polite. So there was like a boat. 2 of my biggest fish had boats on them. And I was kind of watching them, and I noticed they weren't fishing for them. They didn't notice they were there. So I'm like, please don't catch it. So I actually went back, and there was a boat. I kind of stayed out off of it and let him fish through, and went right behind him. And his boat went over the fish. And by the time when I got in there, she was resetting, and I caught her in like 2 casts. So it was a matter of just really slowing down, and there was high percentage trees, and like certain trees had rocks, and
good hard bottom. That's what they were looking for.
Little stuff in the area that they would relate to. So I would just move through the area super fast and find the best productive water.
Well, we got one tournament left, 2025 season, Lake Tawakoni. I know you've never been on that lake.
Actually, I have.
Oh, you have?
I went this year, my first time I went for TTO. So.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
But that TTO, if I remember correctly, the weather was that was a crazy weather day that day.
It was crazy. The water came up like 2 feet in like 45 seconds.
So you're really still going to Tawakoni for the first time?
Yes, absolutely. So.
Are you going to put some practice in to guarantee and lock in that Angler of the Year race?
I don't know. I don't know if I want to switch it up because I've been just rolling with one day of practice and seeing what happens. But I kind of feel like I'll be thinking about it a little too much. I might need to go give a little look and just kind of see what's going on out there.
Hunter Mayo, 3rd place today on Ray Roberts. Big sack, 24.63, going home with $4,500. But more importantly, today he is decidedly in the lead for our Angler of the Year race. Congratulations, man. Looking forward to seeing you at Tawakoni. That wraps up this Bass Champs Talk podcast. The next one, Lake Tawakoni, going to be a great time, and it's going to be a great show out of even more big fish. Make sure you watch that one too.
The best of the best just got better. Clearer images, sharper resolution, improved target separation. That's right, better. LiveScope Plus. Only from Garmin.
Yamaha VMAX V6 SHO continues to deliver the level of performance that pro bass and multi-species anglers demand. Underneath a bold and aggressive new look, an upgraded charging system with 40% more charging power meets the amped-up demand for today's advanced electronics. The VMAX SHO, raw power, reliability, and exhilarating performance for every angler who loves the sport enough to invest in the best. Yamaha, reliability starts here.